So Tyson Fury has made his first appearance on social media since his loss to Alexander Usyk. He posted this short video of himself hitting the heavy bag for a few seconds with some inspirational music playing in the background, vowing redemption. He obviously wanted to allay fears over his mental and physical health following the footage that emerged earlier this week where he was paralytic drunk, falling over in the street. Now, what I liked about this new video, aside from the fact he's actually back in the gym, is the fact that he acknowledged the loss. He didn't complain about the decision this time. He simply said he's looking to redeem himself. And that is the attitude he needs to have. If you're a Tyson Fury fan and you're actually sane, then this is what you should want to see. What you should not want to see is stuff like this. Now, if it was a one-off and Fury was only 25 years old, then perhaps you wouldn't worry too much. But it's not a one-off, is it? Fury's been boozing like this for years. And he's not 25, he's 35. As you age, your body takes longer to recover from training sessions and from fights, obviously. It takes longer to heal from injuries. It takes longer to lose weight. And it also takes longer to recover from the effects of alcohol. So for a fighter, it's even more important to stay disciplined at the age of 35 than it is at 25 because your body can't recover as quickly anymore. You cannot afford to indulge to the same degree as you did when you were young. And for a fighter like Tyson Fury, who has a long, well-documented history of mental and physical health problems exacerbated by alcohol and substance abuse, staying disciplined is even more important still. There's this absolutely bizarre notion among Tyson Fury fans that most people who are criticizing his binge drinking are doing so on moral grounds. They're saying there's nothing wrong with getting drunk because most of us have done it. Yeah, most of us have done it. But most of us don't have a rematch scheduled against one of the greatest fighters in history. How could you miss such an obvious point? We're not criticizing Fury's binge drinking on moral grounds. We're criticizing it on health grounds. Because in case you hadn't noticed, boxing is an extremely dangerous sport where physical and mental health are absolutely paramount to success. Just under a month ago, Tyson Fury lost to Alexander Usyk, and he took a tremendous amount of punishment in the fight, more punishment than we've ever seen him take before. He was hurt far worse than we've ever seen before. In the post-fight interview, he was showing symptoms consistent with concussion. He was wishing everyone Happy New Year in the month of May. Concussion is a form of brain damage, folks. And the effects of a concussion can sometimes last for several months, especially in boxing, because you may still continue to get hit in the head for several rounds after sustaining the concussion, which makes it worse. So before Fury's brain has had a chance to fully recover, he damages it even further by consuming copious amounts of alcohol. Yet rather than express concern, his fans instead say that there's absolutely no harm in it and start mocking the people who actually did express concern. Only in the demented world of Fury fanaticism do you find such an insane mentality. I've heard some of them say, you're going overboard. He hadn't had a drink for 6 months prior to that. 6 months? I haven't had a drink for 6 years, mate, and I'm not even a professional boxer. It's not hard, folks. A lot of Tyson Fury fans are people who are also Ricky Hatton fans. They like him because he's one of the lads, just like Hatton was. Yeah, Ricky Hatton got knocked out by Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. That's what happened to him at elite level. And to put it in perspective, Mayweather had 12 fights at welterweight, and only 2 of them were knockout wins. Ricky Hatton was one of them. Similar with Pacquiao, he hardly stopped anyone above lightweight. The vast majority of his fights above 135 went the distance, yet he knocked Ricky Hatton out cold, early. Wasn't a long fight like he had with Miguel Cotto, no, he blasted Hatton out in 2 rounds. So Ricky Hatton isn't someone that any Tyson Fury fan who actually has their head screwed on straight should want the Gypsy King to emulate. In fact, Ricky Hatton's career should be a cautionary tale. You never saw Bernard Hopkins doing this. You never saw Floyd Mayweather doing this. You never saw Andre Ward doing this. You've never seen Alexander Usyk doing this. An intelligent man learns from his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. Binge drinking and yo-yoing in weight is not conducive to long-term success in boxing. You might be able to get away with it for a while when you're still young, but it eventually catches up with you. And these are things which Tyson Fury continues to do even now at the age of 35. People really seem to underestimate the detrimental effects that binge drinking can have on athletic performance. Every time you have a binge drinking session, it doesn't just kill a few brain cells, it damages numerous other organs in your body. And when you continue to do this, the damage slowly accumulates. It chips away at you over the years. Some of the short-term effects include poor motor control, slow reaction times, and depression. But the long-term effects include weight gain, high blood pressure, trouble sleeping, mental health problems, weakened immune system, heart disease, liver problems, stroke, and an increased risk of the big C word. And this is not an exhaustive list. The problems actually go on and on. One of the other effects of long-term binge drinking is premature aging. Alcohol abuse can cause both accelerated or premature aging, in which symptoms of aging appear earlier than normal, and exaggerated aging, in which the symptoms appear at the appropriate time, but in a more exaggerated form. This is Alexander Usyk 4 years ago in the Derek Chisora fight, and this is Alexander Usyk now. There's barely any difference at all. Compare that to Tyson Fury 4 years ago in the second Wilder fight and Tyson Fury now. Look at the difference in his body shape. His body looked far healthier and far more solid in the Wilder rematch than it does now. The man is aging rapidly. Just look at him next to Usyk. He looks like the older man when he's actually 2 years younger. Now, of course, genetics do play a part as well. Some people will age worse than others, no matter what they do. But being unhealthy will accelerate the process. It makes things even worse, no matter what genetics you have. If Tyson Fury is to give himself any realistic chance of beating Usyk in a rematch, he needs to stop the rot. And that means no more drinking at all. And look, it might be too little too late already. The many years of bad living combined with the damage he took last month might make it an insurmountable task. But at a bare minimum, he can at least avoid making things worse. All these Fury fans think they're helping him by saying that getting drunk like this is perfectly fine, but are actually harming him. Telling him that this is perfectly fine is the last thing he needs to hear. Because if he thinks it's perfectly fine, he's more likely to keep on doing it. With friends like these, who needs enemies? This is why it's so detrimental for a fighter to be surrounded by backslappers and yes men. And that's what most of his fans are, yes men. That's what most of his team are. That's what most of the boxing media are. Just like Mike Tyson, the man he was named after, Tyson Fury has a self-destructive element to his personality. Yes men will ignore that self-destructive element or downplay it. And in doing so, they create a safe haven for it to grow. That's what happened to Mike Tyson, and that is what's been happening to Tyson Fury these past few years. And he's going up against a man in Alexander Usyk who lives like a Spartan, a man who's already beaten him once. One of the reasons that Usyk was able to become undisputed heavyweight champion in his late 30s against much bigger, younger men is because he lives the life. Fury should be taking a leaf out of Usyk's book, not Ricky Hatton's. Johnny Nelson has said that he does not believe Fury will go ahead with the rematch. And as counterintuitive as this might seem, that might be exactly what he does need to hear, because it then gives him extra motivation to prove people wrong. And if the timing of this training video is anything to go by, then that may well be what has happened. Additionally, Fury needs to stay away from anyone who's reinforcing this delusion that he got jobbed on the scorecards, because believing such nonsense does not facilitate the level of improvement required to actually win the rematch. As I said at the start, this video seems to be a step in the right direction, but who knows how accurately it represents how he's really living on a daily basis. Anyone can upload a clip of themselves hitting a bag for 5 seconds to try and make it look like they're living the life. But it doesn't mean that they actually are. It could just be PR. Time will tell. Anyway, please don't forget to like and share this video if you enjoyed it. It really helps out the channel. And leave your comments below to let me know what you think. I'm out.